Welcome to RUFC TV. We're here with senior men's NPL coach Nick Dibbs after the 4-4 draw with SWQ Thunder. So Nick, how would you describe the game today?
Entertaining, probably. I'd rather we wasn't so entertaining for the crowd. Like, it's going to draw people to come and watch, but we're just in that phase where we just need that consistency. I know how dangerous they can be. As I said last week, I'm not concerned. The boys aren't concerned. We leaked again, a couple of goals, but it's a very similar story to last week. We just don't have it at the moment. We haven't had the roll of the ball. You know, deflection by Trent, the referee, who apologised, and they score when we're on a counter attack, and then we're outnumbered. You know, another own goal. But it's just the consistency we need now. And
we did go ahead quite early in the match. And then SWQ Thunder fought their way back into the game. Can we talk a bit about what happened in that middle part of the game?
I'm not too sure whether it's fought their way back into the game. Maybe we let them back in. That's probably how I saw it. Obviously, we have to deal with the referee's part of the pitch, and the boys have to know that, and you can't just fall over. But we're in a mid-counter attack. They get a lucky break off the referee's left peg. He gets an assist, and that's where the goal goes in. But you know, Mikey tries to clear and we put one in the back of the net. Maybe it's going anyway, but I just need that consistency at the back. But as I said, if we're not scaring teams going forward, then
talking about scaring teams going forward, Shooter has scored in every single match he has played for. He scored a hat-trick tonight. How vital is he to the team?
Every player's vital, but obviously, you know, goal scorers are few and far between. But he's got a track record now of scoring every game. So as long as he keeps it up, I'm going to be happy. You know, I'm very pleased with a lot of the boys. There's some real big performances tonight. Some of the young lads come in. I thought Toby Hughes was superb, to be quite honest. Shooter was superb. There wasn't really, I would say, a real weak player out there today, but you know, and it was good to see Scotty Bowe come back. Obviously, there'd have been a few people around the ground wondering why that change was made, but it's a decision that had to be made for Scotty's recovery. And it's more than 2 games, it's 26 games in the season, so that's how much faith I've got in our sports med and Sarah. So she said, Nick, that's time, so even if it affects the game, at least he comes back next week.
And how important is for the boys if they do go down? They did go down 4-2 during the second half of the match. How important is it for them to fight back and to get that level?
The character that they showed, I thought, was superb. At half time, we had some words, and we knew our transition was a bit slow. The shape shift and recovery could have been way better. But it's just those moments, as we're so scary going forward, we need to know when to tuck in, when to funnel, defend first, score second, really. You know, all in all, like, to be honest, we've just come back for 4-4, and I'm disappointed with the draw because I know what the team's capabilities is. At the end of the day, we've got to back it up. Talk's cheap, and we've got to do that for 90 minutes over 26 games. You know, there's a lot of people since the introduction of the QPL and the NPL. There's a lot of things being said. There's a lot of experts out there. There's a lot of big egos floating around that want to talk up the game and talk up the season and put sides down before the season's really underway. End of the day, consistency will win the league, and whatever team's most consistent will obviously be there at the end. But if people want to discount certain sides, I'm more than happy with it.
And up against Gold Coast United next weekend, they were losing 2-0 to Brisbane Roar 10 minutes to go. How are you feeling about that game?
We'll take every game, one game at a time. You know, as I said, you know, we go back and I'll prepare for the Gold Coast game. This week we prepared for the South West Queensland game. We're preparing in different ways. Obviously, there's still things I need to address. Consistency is the one. We will score. And that's something I don't think we've been able to say as a collective group for a few years where I've been involved. I do feel we're going to score. I think we're going to scare teams. We know where our strengths are. We know where our weaknesses are. But if we know that, then I think we're on the right track to going forward. The key thing for me is just get the consistency. We prepare for the Gold Coast. After the Gold Coast, we prepare to go to Cairns. It's 26 games, and I'm not looking any further than next week at the moment. And the boys know that. We're in a good place on the training ground, so happy.
Thank you for joining us, Nick.